10 made up crises in United States history. Let's define, what do I mean when I say made up? Now, the effects of this crisis or these crises are real, but the problems are not real. What do I mean by that? It would be like, let's say, I put a whoopee cushion on a chair, and then I sat on the chair. That's a made-up crisis. I'm the one who put the cushion there. You're listening to me? Does this make fucking sense to you? Okay, so top 10 made-up American crises. Number 3, fentanyl. Everybody, as fentanyl deaths surge, some state lawmakers push back against harm reduction. So, I want to provide to you a metaphor. I've used this one before. Imagine your best friend. In fact, it doesn't need to be your best friend. Could be anybody. Could be a stranger. But let's just imagine it's your best friend just for today. Your best friend comes into your room with a plate of cookies. Oh boy! And even not only that, they got little M&Ms in the cookies. Like it's rainbow M&M cookies. Holy shit, right? Wow. What a great friend. So you reach out to try to grab a cookie. Your friend slaps your wrists, says, hold it. These cookies are poisoned. They're going to kill you. If you eat them, you're going to die within 5 minutes. But I got the antidote right here. So then you eat the cookie. Your friend or whoever gives you the antidote. And then you don't take it. You just get poisoned. You start foaming at the mouth. You keel over and you hit the ground screaming, right? That is America when it comes to the war on drugs. We created a fake crisis. Well, I mean, it's a very real crisis and how it affects people. My point when I say it's fake is that it was created. The overdose drug problem in this country was created by the government. They created the problem. And the solution, we already have a solution. Everywhere it's ever been implemented, we're talking in this context about things like legalization, regulation of drugs, safe injection sites, that kind of stuff. Everywhere that these ideas have been implemented, the metrics that these politicians claim to care about, like death, disease, disability that is caused by drug use, in every single location, not just in the country, in states like Oregon, but in the world, like Portugal. Everywhere where these policies have been implemented, drug, death, disease, and disability has gone down. It has gone down. It is reduced. So again, it is a verified, bona fide solution. Now, is it a permanent solution? Does it solve every problem? No. But it's where we start. It's the starting point. Now imagine you're in a race. And like it's the 1970s and some guys got the revolver. I hope they don't do that anymore, right? Because there was like a study done that found out that like people shooting the revolver in the air or whatever to like start the race, like the bullets come down. Like some people died from that. But anyway, that's a whole... And then so they shoot the gun in the air. And then you just don't like, you just like, you know, everyone else starts running. You just decide, I'm going to take a nap. And then when you're taking a nap, you roll over. And then, like, you actually, like, go backwards because you're just rolling. I don't know why you're rolling. Anyway, let's read this article. Fentanyl overdoses have emerged as the leading cause of death for young Americans 18 to 45. Now, I also want to say this is from the NPR. NPR is a very liberal outlet. These people are really out of touch. There's no such thing as a fentanyl overdose. It doesn't exist. It's not real. Now, in this one, when I say it's not real, I mean quite literally. It is nobody, 0 people. All right, okay, I'll be honest, I'll be fair. Maybe some small fraction of people. But as far as the total group of what we're referring to here, fentanyl overdoses do not exist because people are not using fentanyl. They are not dosing fentanyl. The problem is fentanyl poisoning because people are buying things like heroin, methamphetamine. They're buying cocaine, crack. In some places, they're buying marijuana. And drug dealers are either cutting their products with fentanyl to save money because fentanyl is cheap, or they're adding fentanyl to things like marijuana, right? Just to get people addicted to their specific version. So again, I'll stipulate some people, okay? Some people maybe are intentionally dosing fentanyl, right? But nobody is going out there and dosing fentanyl. They're buying other drugs and then getting poisoned. It would be like if I were buying a Coca-Cola and they, left some cyanide in there and I died, okay? That wouldn't be a cyanide overdose. That would be a cyanide poisoning, okay? Just to be very clear. So whenever you see the word overdose used in this context, these are people that are completely detached from the drug world, okay? They don't know anybody that uses drugs, and if they do, they've never bothered to learn about it, right? They're just going to be someone that sits on the sidelines and is judgmental, okay? If you don't know this basic fact that there's no such thing as fentanyl overdoses, it's a poisoning, you are completely detached from this whole entire universe, and therefore you shouldn't even be talking about it in any sort of authoritarian way. When I say authoritarian, I just mean in a sense of authority. Like, this is in the press. This person on NPR should know better. They should hire someone that would know correct language and ways to talk about things. You might think it's a small thing, but it's not, because it leads to a lot of misconceptions. Anyway, with that out of the way, this week, lawmakers in Pennsylvania State Senate voted heavily in favor of a ban on supervised drug injection sites, with 22 Democrats supporting the measure. It hasn't yet been approved by the state house. Quote, "My constituents do not want safe injection sites in the neighborhood," said Philadelphia Democratic Senator Christine Talalua, the bill's sponsor, represents a part of the city where illegal drug use is a major public health crisis. So where drug use is at an all-time high, the antidote is right on the table. It's right there. Think about the language. My constituents do not want safe injection sites. What does that mean? Obviously, given these statistics, there are a lot of unsafe injection sites, and people are dying. What is an unsafe injection site? I don't know. In an alleyway? On the street? In a parking lot? In an abandoned building? Right? That's just to say, not very clean, right? And oftentimes, if you're using needles, you don't have like the alcohol wipe. You're going to have a lot of shit on your skin. Bacteria, virus, right? So again, what they want, what this person, this Democrat, by the way, not Republican, Democrat, by the way, says, I want unsafe injection sites. I want people in my I want my constituents to die. That's what she is saying. But because our country is fucking stupid and Americans are dumber than dog shit, we're not going to talk about it in those terms. Instead, we're going to use euphemistic language, coded language. No, we don't want safe injection sites. Well, what is that? What is the other option? Unsafe injection sites. What happens at an unsafe injection site? People die. So what she is saying is she wants her constituents to die. A Democrat, by the way, again, a Democrat. That's how deep the war on drugs, brain rot, and prejudice has gotten in our society, where Democrats can advocate for drug users to die. They just use a little bit of coded language, and everyone's too dumb to fucking even give a shit about it. Similar clinics operate in New York City and in cities across Canada. People use street drugs under medical supervision and are given help if they overdose. In many cases, they're also connected with health care services and counseling. Again, what this Democrat doesn't want is drug addicts to get help. She doesn't want that. She wants them to get hurt. She wants them to continue in a downward spiral, which, by the way, is not even something you should assume about a drug addict. There are plenty of people that are drug addicts that are completely fine, right? So again, just to be clear, she doesn't want people to get help. She prefers people to be struggling. She prefers people to be addicted. A Democrat, by the way, not a Republican, a Democrat. But the programs remain controversial. Quote, I think it enables addiction. She told Why, referring to safe injection sites, we should be in the business of giving these folks treatment. So what is a safe injection site? It is quite literally medical treatment. They watch over you. They supervise you, right? They offer you an off-ramp. So she is literally a Democrat, by the way, is saying, my constituents don't want to fix the problem. What they really want to do is fix the problem. And is NPR going to talk about this? No, because NPR is nodding along, because prejudice and purposeful ignorance of drug culture is mainstream and encouraged in our society. People want you to look down on drug users and to not even think about any ways to solve their problems. Assuming, by the way, they do have problems, and not all drug users have these existential problems once again. But again, I really, this is insane shit, okay? I need you to really understand when people in this country talk about drugs, they are fucking insane, okay? They are insane. They sound like Adolf Hitler when they're talking about motherfucking drugs in this country. We're talking about Democrats, Republicans, apolitical people, right? People that know someone that maybe has become unstable or lost their life because of drugs. It happens. Again, there's a lot of people that use drugs and you never even know about it, or they're totally fine. But there are some people who get way too addicted to drugs and things go really south, and maybe they become a bad person, or maybe they die of right. But people never really look into what caused that to begin with. All they do is they have maybe they'll have a negative experience and they judge that person. They become judgmental. That's what we're taught in society, to judge people if they're addicted to drugs. By the way, there's a large percentage of this country that's addicted to sugar. Last time I checked, about 80+% of Americans are addicted to sugar. So what if we treated sugar addicts, or, hey, coffee addicts? I drink coffee every day. Plenty of Americans drink coffee every day. What if we treated coffee addicts the same way we treated cocaine addicts? Right? So again, it's arbitrary, it's prejudicial, it's garbage, but that's mainstream because Americans are stupid little fuckers and they only care about themselves. A record 1,276 people died of drug overdoses in Philadelphia in 2021. The latest year data is available. Drug deaths nationwide now regularly top 100,000 fatalities per year. A nonprofit group called Safe House has been negotiating with the U.S. Justice Department, hoping to open supervised injection clinics in Philadelphia. If this measure is approved and signed into law by Pennsylvania's Democratic Governor Josh Shapiro, who has signaled disapproval of supervised drug use sites, it could permanently derail. The Democratic leader of Pennsylvania, again, Democrat, which is weird because I know John Fetterman, who's the senator from Pennsylvania, is actually really good on drug issues, so he needs to get his ass back to Pennsylvania and fix that mess. He leaves for a fucking couple months and now this shit is happening. But again, you can read more of this, but we need to understand that when it comes to drugs, Democrats are pretty much Adolf Hitler. So are Republicans, right? They don't want to help you. if you are addicted to drugs. They want to cause you to become addicted to drugs by shoving them in your face 24/7, right? In culture, in media, talking about how bad they are. They're bad, they're so bad. Woo, they're bad, woo! They want to bait you into it, and then they want to leave you in the cage to suffer and die, because these people are fucking freaks. They're fucking freaks, okay? Democrats and Republicans, anyone that talks about drugs or drug users the way these people do is a fucked up, genocidal, fascist freak. In, at least, you could say, if you want to be fair, in that narrow context. So, there you go.